I'm so pleased to have you here with us on campus. I'm Dr. Michael Majak, the chair of the Department of Physical Therapy, and it's my supreme pleasure to be here to honor the graduating class of 2021. Every year before commencement, we have a recognition ceremony. This year, we're fortunate to do a live hooding ceremony, which could not be done in the full commencement. So we're very pleased to be doing that this afternoon. The occasion here is to really acknowledge the accomplishments of the students who are graduating. They put in lots of hours and time, lots of challenges to be here with us. They've done extremely well. And so we're very pleased to take this special time to acknowledge them and to let them know how proud we are of what they've accomplished and that they'll soon be colleagues of ours in clinical practice. We're very pleased to have this evening with us, Dean Robert Amler, through the wonders of video, will be with us to give some words. And then we have a Vice Dean Ben Johnson to say some words as well. So we'll go now to Dean Robert Amler.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Rob Amler, your dean, and what a privilege it is, what a thrill it is to be with you on this exciting occasion. I do want to thank, and we should all thank, Dr. Mike Majak and his wonderful faculty for bringing us to this point where we're almost done and ready for the diplomas. Let's also thank our families, friends, loved ones for helping us along the way, because let's face it, this was a lot of work, especially during the last 15, 16 months when everything got so crazy. As you go forward as a fellow clinician, I simply want to give you this little bit of advice. As you're providing therapy to your clients, your patients, remember, people will often forget what you said, and they will forget what you actually did, but they will never forget how you made them feel when you said it and did it. So always help them get that extra little special piece of humanity that you bring with you when you see every person you treat. I wish you best success in your coming profession. Physical therapy is one of the most impactful specialties in the field of healthcare and medicine, and I salute you. You're about to join our ranks of alumni, and I hope you will come back many times to tell us what you've done, who you've treated, and how your career is progressing. Thank you so much, and congratulations, class of 2021.
Hi, I'm Ben Johnson, Vice Dean of the School of Health Sciences and Practice. You know, it's usually a pretty challenging task for me to come up and offer some sort of greetings, because more times than not, I'm coming after Rabbi Krupka and Chancellor Halpern and Dean Amler. At least today, I only have to come after Dean Amler. I'm a very informal guy, so I haven't really prepared any structured remarks, but I do want to offer my congratulations. And I have some great news for you. I met with the dean earlier today, and we've decided that you can all come back next year and be on campus. So anybody who would like to take me up on that offer, just see me after the ceremony tonight. We'll make sure that we can arrange that for you. But seriously, I know you're all excited to be finishing up, and we hate that we had to modify the better part of a year and a half of our classes in order to get you to this point. But you've worked hard, you've endured, and you've obviously met all the obligations that were necessary in order for us to confer the degree upon you. So I'm glad we were able to have this ceremony in person so that you can get your colors to honor your work as a D.P.T student. And I know you've worked hard for 3 long years. We'll look forward to seeing you all virtually on Wednesday night. And you can move those tassels when that comes along on Wednesday night. And I know you'll look forward to that. So again, congratulations from myself and from the Dean's office. And I wish you all the great luck in your future. Please go make us proud.
Dean Amler and Vice Dean Johnson. I as well would like to welcome not only our students here this evening and our faculty, but friends, family, people who've been supportive along the way for 3 challenging years. You know, it's difficult to appreciate the level of graduate study leading toward physical therapy if you haven't been in the chairs and the modules on campus in the clinics, putting that time and energy in. The volume is huge. The pace is frenetic. There's never enough time. And oftentimes the students are figuring out where to put my energy today, which task should I focus on? What can I come back to? So the time is always a factor here. It's a dilemma for the faculty. For the faculty, how do we teach physical therapy in 3 years? Or how do we guide our learners for 3 years? What do we teach? How much depth? There's new clinical activities coming out all the time. Telehealth came from being something you might think about to currently an expectation for physical therapists. Infection control, treating with PPE. These are all things which none of us bargained for. And so our challenge is trying to keep up with contemporary practice patterns, new environments, new practice patterns, new science, as we're trying to educate in the fundamentals as well. Now, the faculty are confronted by new science, variety of environments, timeframes. There's no blueprint or concept map on effective physical therapy, which serves all purposes here. So it's not only challenging to learn, it's challenging to teach. And we have these wonderful people who meet that challenge every day. Well, let me introduce the faculty to the audience. But I'll say the names now, and you'll see the wonderful faculty as they hood their students. So there's Dr. Catherine Curtis. And if you want to stand and be acknowledged by the students, that'll be fine. Dr. Janet Dolat. Dr. Nikki Garwonsky. Dr. Gail Lavender. Dr. Susan Ronan. Dr. Christina Wellsome. And in the back of the hallway, always keeping the glue together, the cement together, which you can't see on camera very easily, is Miss Francesca Menta and Miss T. Marie Reck. We're also pleased to welcome 2 guest faculty this evening. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Jenna Herbold. Dr. Herbold is an adjunct assistant professor, and she's the vice president of post-acute services at Berkeley Rehabilitation Hospital. She's also an advisor for one of our doctoral project groups. We're also pleased to have with us tonight Dr. Lana Sirakides, who's the administrative manager of the Physical Medicine Rehabilitation Department at White Plains Hospital. So just as craftsmen work with apprentices, the faculty are only as effective as the students who come to work with us. Nice form. You know, it's a partnership. We have information to try to share. We try to inspire and motivate. The students come in, they try to learn and actualize themselves and empower themselves. We're proud and grateful to always attract very dedicated, passionate students. This class is no different. We've been very honored to have a wonderful set of students with us, trying their best to learn the nature of physical therapy. And I'll say to the students, we not only taught you, we've learned from you. It's always a two-way experience. You've been challenged with a daunting task of caring for human lives, and you've met that challenge. Thus, with pride, we say your apprenticeship is over. Your future and that of your patients lies in your own hands. Never forget or take for granted, be humbled by the power to change people's lives. I'll leave you one thought from Khalil Gibran, who's a poet, philosopher, who wrote philosophical works. And he spoke on teaching. He said, no man or person can reveal to you other than that which already lies half asleep in the dawning of your knowledge. We brought this to the table, folks. The teacher who walks in the shadow of the temple among his followers gives not of his wisdom, but rather of his faith and lovingness. If he's indeed wise, he does not bid you enter the house of his wisdom, but rather lead you to the threshold of your own mind. That's been our goal here, right? Our goal is to try to optimize your learning. The fate has always been in your own hands. We've been simply guides on your journeys, both professionally and professionally. We hope we've inspired you and helped you become not like us, but better versions of yourselves. So once again, a big hand for the class of 2021. I'd now like to invite Dr. Nikki Garwonsky to the podium and Dr. Tsirikides to the stage for our next part of the ceremony.
So each year, the New York, New Jersey Clinical Education Consortium presents an award for outstanding physical therapy clinical education site. The criteria to be nominated include promoting best practice, having well-designed clinical teaching methods and materials, communicating effectively with students and the academic program, and participating in clinical teaching for at least 2 consecutive years. This year, the D.P.T clinical education team at New York Medical College nominated White Plains Hospital under the direction of Lana Tsirikides. Lana and her team were one of our first inpatient partners to resume their student programming during the pandemic. And it's been quite a year. The entire team at White Plains Hospital embraces having students and makes sure to give them the best experience possible. This cohort alone, we have 9 students who've been at White Plains inpatient. So thank you for supporting our student program and for providing so many of our students a meaningful clinical education experience.
So we are very happy to support our profession and the future of our profession. Congratulations, class of 2021.
So moving forward, I'd like to present the community service projects for the class of 2021. This group has worked on 3 pretty amazing projects in 2019, and they did present these projects to the other classes. I don't want to say the lower classmen, but the other classes. But we would also like to honor you again today for your hard work on these community service projects. They're much appreciated. So what we do here at New York Medical College is we have 3 community service projects, and they're intended to help students develop the skills necessary for planning, execution, and assessment of community service activities. Involvement in these projects reinforces the professional value of voluntarily serving others with no intention of personal gain. And they are consistent with our core value at New York Medical College to serve local and underserved communities. So the first team, you can see the names here on the slide, is the Global Outreach Team. And they were renamed, I think this year was the first time it was Team Go. Was this the first cohort, I believe? And the faculty advisors were Dr. Kathy Curtis and Dr. Gail Lavender. So some awesome pictures of the team collecting equipment. They did a lot of fundraisers, and for the first time also, this team really put together how big was the container that you guys sent over to Dominica. That was quite an accomplishment. And you know that you really helped to serve a lot of people by collecting that equipment and making sure that it shipped safely overseas. So thank you. The second community service project group is the Health and Wellness Group, and the advisor for that group was Dr. Tina Welsum. And if you look at the slide, these are the names of the individuals who were part of the Health and Wellness Group. And the goals for this project were to increase awareness of the role of physical therapy in healthcare, to provide preventative screenings for fall risks among older adults. They also discussed heart health, how to take your heart rate and a target heart rate at the Race for Rehab and at the Heart Walk. And they provided education on stress management. And of course, they helped to develop the warm up for the Race for Rehab and the Heart Walk. So thank you for your work on your projects. And the final group, the Race for Rehab, and the faculty advisors for this group for 2019 were Dr. Janet Dalat and Mr. Tony Souza. And on the slide, you can see the names of the individuals for this group. And this, the year 2019 for this cohort was the 21st annual Race for Rehab that was hosted at NYMC. And actually it has we did not host one last year in person. It was virtual. So this was the last in-person one that we've had. So hopefully you will all come back for the in-person Race for Rehab this year, set for when, Dr. Delat? And October 10th. Okay, so we hope to see you all back running the race. And this group did a lot of fundraising for the Race for Rehab. And of course, you know, it's all hands on deck with this community service project. So they really run it. They advertise, get the t-shirts, design, and coordinate with the health and wellness group. And they did a pretty amazing job. So congrats.
All right, I'm Dr. Catherine Curtis, and I will extend the welcome to this year's hooding and recognition ceremony for the D.P.T class of 2021. So here we're celebrating the very fine clinicians that they have become and their wonderful work they have accomplished during their time here. So my role this afternoon is to acknowledge their work on their doctoral projects. Aha. Okay. So these projects represent a culminating requirement for the degree. In most years, we hold a spring afternoon event for the students to present and discuss their work. But this year, of course, with all things being a little different, the students presented and discussed their work in a special virtual process. Regardless of the presentation format, each of these projects represents a 3-year effort on behalf of the students and their faculty advisors to address a question germane to the practice of physical therapy, teaching, or public health. The range of projects for the D.P.T class of 2021 included a grant application process for individuals with autism spectrum disorder, frailty screening for older adults, a questionnaire on musculoskeletal symptoms and ergonomic issues in dental students, predictors of inpatient rehabilitation, length of stay following total knee replacement, and prevalence of running-related injury and police recruits. In addition, teaching practica topics included cultural competence, telehealth, ethics, and neurological examination for D.P.T students. So this is not just a wonderful day for all of you, it's a wonderful time of year for us as well, because it's a moment when we get to stop and pause and think about how you have developed over your time here into the very fine professionals that you are. And we can only look forward to the future and what that will hold for each and every one of you. We will miss you terribly, and we wish you all much luck as you go forward.
Wonderful work. You know, this is done in addition to the coursework for those who are watching from the audience. So in addition to having a problem-based learning curriculum where they're told, guess what, here's your patient, go find out what to do with them in 2 days, and being guided through that process, and having community service projects, which they do in groups, and doing doctoral projects, which they do in groups. They're doing 4 clinical rotations. I mean, they think we're crazy here, but I can tell you the outcomes are just phenomenal. Our alumni get hired quickly, they get promoted quickly, we get some great satisfaction. And I think that Dr. Chirikides, 9 students in 1 year, we're doing something right. Huh? And I'll acknowledge again, it's not just how we teach, it's the students we attract. And so once again, thank you students for making us part of your partnership in your life journey. We do have every year a number of commencement awards to acknowledge attributes of certain individuals. There's one in academic excellence, which is very rigorous. The GPA needs to be at least a 3.8, and there needs to be excellence of performance in clinical education as well as classroom education. There's actually an award for clinical excellence itself, an individual who's been challenged by demanding clinical experiences, who's risen to the challenge, who's had very good response reports from clients and patients. Outstanding scholarship is one of the doctoral project groups that have shown outstanding achievement in carrying out a project and their outcomes. And professional leadership is a student who's demonstrated leadership of professionalism, communication, responsibility, dedication, volunteerism. And so we are going to present these awards. I'm very pleased to provide the first award, Academic Excellence. So I'm going to ask Kali Denigris and Jesse Vangor to come down to the front of the stage, please. I'm going to read the nomination that we nominated them with. And I'll just take the word nominate, put down award, right? So the faculty submitted to the deans. We're very pleased to nominate Jesse Vangor and Kali Denigris as co-recipients for the Academic Excellence Award for their outstanding academic achievements in the program. Basic science faculty, faculty of the Department of Physical Therapy, and clinical faculty all recognize these two individuals as academically gifted students. Jesse achieved a 3.877 GPA and Carly 3.875. Sorry, out by two thousandths, right? Over 3 years of rigorous didactic coursework in foundational sciences, clinical skills courses, and advanced course seminars. Each has shown outstanding performance in our problem-based learning tutorial sessions. Their work in course assignments, projects, and examinations has consistently risen well above usual performance expectations. Along the way, they have assisted and mentored several of their classmates toward their successes. Jesse and Carly each showed dedication, commitment, and perseverance over the course of their doctoral project work. As part of a doctoral project team of students, they revised, enhanced, and led a peer learning laboratory module in neurological examination and evaluation for first-year D.P.T students. In addition to their didactic coursework, Jesse and Carly showed astute clinical application of their knowledge throughout their clinical education experiences. It is with pleasure the faculty of the Department of Physical Therapy and I nominated and award Jesse Vangor and Kali Denigris as co-recipients for the 2021 Academic Excellence Award. Well done. The next award we're going to announce is, following my words here, is going to be Dr. Lavender to come up to present the award for clinical excellence.
I'd like to invite Casey Rubenstein to the stage for the Clinical Excellence Award. It is our pleasure to nominate Casey Rubenstein for the Clinical Excellence Award for the class of 2021. Casey has demonstrated exemplary professionalism and a strong sense of caring and compassion towards all patients across all 4 experiences. Casey's clinical instructors described her as highly professional, courteous, confident, and an eagerness to learn by always welcoming challenges and a dedication to the profession. During each clinical experience, Casey has held herself to high standards of delivering compassionate, patient-centered care and welcomed all feedback to grow professionally. She has her strong clinical skills in the areas of documentation, clinical reasoning, examination and evaluation, creativity, and patient education. She has communicated professionally by advocating for a broad range of experiences, being flexible, willing to travel to meet these goals. Casey demonstrated impressive professional development within and across all 4 clinical experiences. It is my pleasure and honor to award Casey Rubenstein with Clinical Excellence 2021. I'd like to invite Janet Herbold to the stage for the Outstanding Scholarship Award.
I would like to invite Christopher Farella, Joseph Iarochi, and Nicole Marsh to the front of the stage. It is with great pleasure that I recognize Christopher, Joseph, and Nicole for their doctoral project titled Identifying Predictors of Inpatient Rehabilitation Length of Stay Using a New Post-Acute Functional Assessment Scale Following Total Knee Replacement. This team of students, I must say, embraced this challenging task. they had to take a brand new functional tool, never used in clinical practice yet, and demonstrate its value in inpatient rehabilitation setting. The current literature is completely void of articles using this GG code assessment as a functional scale, which made this project increasingly more challenging. The students demonstrated perseverance, dedication, and actually at the end, a mastery of statistical tools necessary to complete the data analysis with my supervision. The final results was a comparison of a traditional functional tool called the FIM, which had become an industry standard for over 20 years. And they had to compare its effectiveness to this new tool called the GG codes, which was mandated by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid and under a new law called Improving Medicare Post-Acute Care Transformation. So, although health policy studies are often ones that are not considered too exciting to work on, this study actually has really widespread appeal across the entire post-acute care setting. And I sincerely hope that this manuscript, following some slight editing, is going to be ready for publication in a peer-reviewed journal. And in the end, it is with pleasure that the faculty of the Department of Physical Therapy and I recognize Christopher Farella, Joseph Iaconoci, and Nicole Marsh for their work on the 2021 Outstanding Scholarship Award. Joseph Iarochi, thank you. I asked Tina Welsum to come to the podium to present the next award on the professional leadership.
It's always a pleasure to follow Janet because I've been following her my whole career, I think. And it's funny as you talk about taking the FIM to GG codes, because I remember instituting the FIM training with you at Burke. So leaders follow leaders, invite future leaders. So I'm honored to stand up here today to nominate Mina Belfort, to share the nomination from the faculty for Mina Belfort for the Professional Leadership Award. We're pleased to nominate Mina Belfort for the Professional Leadership Award for her demonstration of professional leadership throughout all aspects of graduate school activities, both in and beyond our own Department of Physical Therapy. Mina takes on multiple roles in any group. She's an initiator who leads by example, as well as always encouraging others to step up. Her comments in the classroom encourage dialogue, as well as her peers to contribute. Her role as class representative clearly demonstrated her leadership skills. For example, representing class needs at faculty meetings and organizing groups for trainings. I think her text messages and phone calls would never have kept us all on track, especially through the pandemic. She addresses concerns in a diplomatic and sensitive manner to encourage resolution. During her time here with us at New York Medical College, Mina continued to develop her leadership skills throughout the program time by negotiating conflicts, representing the students' interactions with the faculty, and seeking feedback. Mina has always searched for opportunities in her professional development that went well beyond usual expectations. And if you know Mina, you know that she always did it with a smile and a little extra enthusiasm, which just made her such a pleasure to work with. So it is with great pleasure and much honor that I stand here representing the faculty of the Department of Physical Therapy as we nominate Mina Belfort for the 2021 Professional Leadership Award. And I will invite Dr. Ronan to join us at the podium to represent the Alpha Eta Society Awards.
So Alpha Eta is a national honor society for the healthcare professions. The motto of the society is "Together we serve." This year in the Doctor of Physical Therapy program, we are pleased to induct 2 graduates and 1 honorary member. Graduates considered for induction must be in their last year of the professional program, have a minimum GPA of 3.8, and have evidence of distinguished scholarship and service. Our graduate inductees for the 2021 are Jesse Vangor, and Carly DeNegris. So I'm going to ask you guys to join me. Come on down. Those considered for honorary membership must have evidence of distinguished scholarship and service to the professions of speech, language pathology, or physical therapy. For her role as an outstanding leader, clinician, and scholar, we are pleased to induct Dr. Janet Herbold as an honorary member.
Every year as part of the ceremony, the faculty rotate through the honor of sharing some comments reflecting the faculty as a whole. And this year, we're very pleased to have Dr. Janet Delott be the person to present the faculty by giving some of her thoughts about this momentous event.
Good afternoon, class of 2021, and welcome to all of your loved ones who are able to join us remotely. What an exciting and challenging time to complete your studies and sit for the licensing exam. Many opportunities and challenges exist for professional practice, some of which were unheard of prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. As you contemplate your professional choices and development beyond graduation, I will reflect upon the greatest gift available to all physical therapists. I found it embodied in a New York Times opinion piece published way back in 2016. That was before COVID, right? Was there even a time, right? But the piece is a secular parable, if you will, authored by a gentleman named Jacques Leslie, who is a foreign correspondent, and he attended physical therapy for an undisclosed malady. For those of you who have not read the piece or don't remember, I'll summarize its main points. Lisa, Mr. Leslie's physical therapist, examined him and determined that he needed to improve his gait, or walking pattern for those of you unfamiliar with PT jargon. Mr. Leslie did not think it was possible because he was 67 years old and he had walked this way most of his life. You see, he had contracted polio as a young child and had residual foot and leg impairments, leading to altered gait and a leg length discrepancy. But Lisa was persistent, saying if you don't learn to walk properly, the older you get, the more likely you will fall down. Mr. Leslie was stunned when, after examining his leg closely, she stated, "Your limp is probably unnecessary." So he adhered with Lisa's suggestions and attended 50 PT sessions over 18 months, performing his home program diligently. At the start of each session, Lisa would watch him walk and revise his program accordingly. By the end of the 18 months, he wrote, "Walking stopped feeling like a chore. My spirits improved. My confidence grew. My career enjoyed an uptick." Readers of this piece were understandably charmed by his story, and several asked how they could find a Lisa. So as I reflected on this story, I mined 4 pearls of wisdom from it. The first we know already: the greatest gift available to a physical therapist is to positively impact a person's life, even persons who think it isn't possible to change. The second is that despite all of the interactions Mr. Leslie must have had with the healthcare system as an adult, including previous physical therapy, Lisa seems to be the first provider to identify the importance of addressing his gait impairments in a gradual and sustainable manner. This importance was rooted in preventative care, the prevention of falls as he ages. And she was able to persuade him that it is possible to change. The third is that if you do the math, Mr. Leslie attended PT 2 to 3 sessions per month on average, diligently performing an independent home program in between. He did not need to come to the PT clinic twice a week to perform meaningful exercises and activities or even attend via teletherapy. And during each session, though, Lisa performed a reevaluation and revised his program. In my mind, this interaction between him and his physical therapist requires more than 15 minutes of one-on-one time with each other during the session. And unfortunately, I hate to say, sometimes this is sometimes absent in some outpatient PT environments these days. The fourth pearl, we also know already: physical therapy is a valuable service. However, it is delivered within a constrained payment environment. Mr. Leslie was 67 years old and likely on Medicare, which is a relatively good payer. However, Medicare does place limits on payments for outpatient PT services, as do most insurance plans. And some people don't even have health insurance regardless. And many people with healthcare insurance face high deductibles and or high co-payments for services. This is even more urgent for persons with lower incomes. And many people are unable to pay for cash-based services. But look at the value of the physical therapy Mr. Leslie received for himself and for society. Value that includes increased confidence, improved spirits, enhanced work life, and a reduced risk of falls and their associated financial and human costs. We need to get the word out. So I challenge each of you to use these pearls of wisdom as a call to action. Let's each be like Lisa, a leader really, not for our own sake, but for our clients and society. Lisa embodies the APTA vision statement. She is transforming society by optimizing movement to improve the human experience, one client at a time. We must collectively identify, develop, and promote areas of practice that provide value to our patients and society. And these include some of the areas mentioned by Dr. Joan Corcoran, who is your keynote speaker for the doctoral project presentation day. And his topics included PT in the ICU, PT in the emergency department, and there are many others. And these areas of practice will provide the greatest value to us as well as society and our patients. And we must promote access to physical therapy by all people, regardless of their ability to pay. So as you begin your post-entry level career, the faculty and I have several wishes for you. That you will each enjoy great personal and professional success, that you will enjoy the great professional satisfaction of being like Lisa for even just one of your patients, and that you will help craft physical therapy into a profession that has room for many Lisas. In closing, on behalf of the faculty and staff, I would like to congratulate each of you on your accomplishments and resiliency throughout your time at NYMC and including this pandemic period. We have been honored to share in this phase of your professional growth and look forward to your leadership as the physical therapy profession moves forward. And I'm going to take Dr. Majak's cue and let's give a shout out and clapping and hoot and hollering for the class of 2021.
Thank you, Dr. Delat. Some insightful words, some nice thoughts. We're going to move to the hooding part of the ceremony. And the question is, where do these hoods come from, right? I mean, it's a regalia. You have these hats and these gowns on. You know, it really comes from the study in medieval times in cold, drafty castles and manors when the hood was actually put over the head to keep the person warm who was studying and working. Nowadays, they go over the shoulder, but it still reflects the history of academic rigor in Europe, which is in Eastern Europe, which is over to the United States. For those who aren't aware, the inside of the hood reflects the institution's color, and then the trim, the border trim, reflects the discipline of education. Physical therapy color is sage green. We like to say it's more like a teal color in between the PhD and the MD degree, kind of the combination of science and art here. So when you have that, you'll see those who will see this at home, that the colors are coded in a certain denomination that way. It started being worn in the United States after the Civil War, and they had the first formal meeting to discuss what should be the formal attire in 1893, and it's evolved since that time. Remains a very meaningful gesture of commencement, of putting on the hood to prepare yourself for a life journey as lifelong learners. And so it's our pleasure to carry on that tradition here this evening. Those who are not with us tonight may not know that when the students come into the program, they have professional development groups that they track themselves with for the 3 years here. They have advisors. And when they had the white coat ceremony a couple of years back, we had the pleasure of having the advisors assist the students of the white coat, the transition from classroom into class. Advisors once again helping the advisees this time to have the hoods bestowed upon them. The tradition is someone behind, usually someone tall, will put the hood over the person's head and shoulders, and the advisor stands in front to bring down the hood and to make sure it's properly attired and goes on that way. So because the faculty will be involved in the hooding, we have Francesca Menta with her lovely diction will be up here announcing the names. She's been studying phonetically the names, so bear with us. We try to have her give up some of her strong Italian but CHs and Cs here, and her, and I got my major cluster. You can't understand me half the time anyway, so that's okay. So I have Francesca come up to the podium. I'm going to go to the center of the stage area. When the students come up, we ask that you come up to the center of the stage and face down to the audience, to kind of hand me your hood. I'll take it, put it over from behind, your advisor from the front. Step aside so your family and friends can see you in full profile, and we'll move you along. We do ask that we are very mindful of not overly contacting people. We're still looking at the COVID protection policies here, so a gesture would be nice to do, but we ask you that you be mindful of still, we're trying to distance a bit here this evening. So I'll turn things over to Francesca, and you move us forward.
Hello, everyone. Hi, graduates. Hello, family and friends. I'm really excited to be given this honor to read your names during the hooding portion of your ceremony. So our first group is advised by Dr. Catherine Curtis. And our first student is Carly D. Negris. Ahmed Shalabi. Melissa Gargiulo. Alexa Jimenez. Brian Laskowski. Christopher Farella. All right. Alexandra Straley. Ross Greenfield. Oh. Dr. Delat is the advisor for the next group. Austin Hamby. Mariah Tarabachia. Amanda Oliver. Mina Belfort. Nicole Marsh. Our next group is advised by Dr. Nikki Garwonsky, Angelo Calogero, Aaron Daly, Anthony Del Giaco, Erin Donahue, Jacqueline Malloran, Patricia McAllister, Our next group is advised by Dr. Gail Lavender, Noor Ali, Julia Nigro, Megan Mara, Joshua Meisner, Jesse Van Gore, Joseph Iarochi, Clay Nelms, Kaylee Sullivan, Our next group is advised by Dr. Susan Ronan, Brandon Bolduc, Kennedy Frawley, Melissa Gorin, Stephen Huka, Nizam Sungun. Our next group is advised by Dr. Christina Welsum, Gregory Agripides, Vishal Aurora, Kelly Garcia, Victoria Jelenik, Daniel Mellon, Akash Patel, Sylvia Roman, Casey Rubenstein. Congratulations, graduates.
So along with having the faculty presentation, we invite always the graduating class to have a couple of students come up to speak about their own impressions, as much as they're willing to share. So I have to invite down Mina Belfort and Casey Rubenstein to come down and share some words from the class.
Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mina Belfort, and I'm one of the class representatives for the class of 2021. It's been an honor to represent such a strong-minded and passionate group of individuals who are never afraid to speak their minds or challenge the norms. We've been through a lot together over the past 3 years. Thanks to the pandemic, the last semester we were supposed to spend together in person quickly turned into Zoom lectures in breakout rooms, virtual lab sessions using baby dolls, and discussion boards and voiceover presentations on Canvas. We eventually were allowed to learn pediatric evaluation and intervention techniques on campus, wearing face shields and face masks, and using babies wrapped in plastic bags. Through it all, we were still able to finish physical therapy school and earn our doctorate without delay. I have no doubt that we will all pass our boards in July and cannot wait to see what great clinicians we will all become and the impact we have on all of our patients. To all our family and friends, thank you for putting up with us the last 3 years. I know we weren't always able to be around for everything and it wasn't the easiest, but I hope you know that we all truly appreciate the support through the stress of PT school. I'm so sorry you weren't able to be here in person tonight, but thank you so much for being here virtually. Lastly, I would like to thank the amazing faculty that has guided us the past 3 years and have served as such amazing role models. You all played an important part in the people and clinicians that we have become and will continue to develop into. Congratulations again to the class of 2021. All the work has finally paid off.
All right, I feel like that's going to be kind of hard to follow up. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Casey, if you don't know me, and I'm also one of the class representatives with Mina. First, I want to thank the faculty and staff for all that they have done for us during our time here. Thank you for being our teachers, our mentors, and for preparing us for our futures as doctors of physical therapy. And of course, I have to give a huge shout out to our family and friends for their consistent support, and at least for me, helping me keep my sanity throughout this journey. So thank you, everyone. We would not be here today without you all. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to say today, I came across this quote that my parents have hanging up on our refrigerator at home. It says, "In the end, the extent of our own success will be measured by the accomplishments that we have helped create in others." I wanted to share this quote today because it not only represents what our role and responsibility as clinicians will be in the near future, but I believe it accurately defines the character of our class. As much as today represents a remarkable individual achievement from the 40 students sitting in front of me, I don't think we'd all be sitting here in these caps and gowns if it weren't for the help of one another. The last 3 years have been challenging, especially the past 14 months, but we got through each day, each class, and each semester together. From anatomy lab to virtual learning, there wasn't an obstacle we had to navigate alone. Despite the competitiveness of this program, we were never competing against each other. We constantly built one another up. My classmates are some of the most intelligent and talented people I've known and have had the pleasure to learn and work with. But it's their selflessness and genuine compassion that I have, and I know their future patients will admire and appreciate the most. If there's any indication of what kind of success my classmates will have in their careers, it's not their grades or their GPA, but their willingness to put others before themselves. Their extraordinary character, above all, means so much more than any kind of academic honor could show. So if you're like me, you might be a little scared, a little nervous, and hopefully excited about what the future holds. But no matter what you feel, know that if you continue to support others the way that we've supported each other the last 3 years, then just like that quote on my fridge, the extent of your own success will be limitless. Thank you and congratulations.
We're just going to pull up a quick presentation that we put together, pictures over the last 3 years.
We don't have any music because we forgot, sorry. So we might talk you through it. I don't know.
So, of course, this is white coat.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all right.
I put it on the bottom. But yes, about a year ago, 2 years ago.
We've come so far.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There was supposed to be, oh no. There was a video.
Maybe my videos aren't showing. That's all right.
Okay.
These are community service project pictures. These are some lab pictures.
Some candid pictures we got. There was a video of Greg doing a nice agility thing.
Greg, I got you. I'll send it out later. You guys can all see it. Oh, see, that one worked.
Yeah. More lab stuff and a beautiful picture on the bottom. I don't really know how to describe that besides abstract art.
Some more lab and community service project stuff. Oh, there's
Greg. That's a different one before then.
All right.
So agile.
Oh man, that's so weird.
Some just candid shots. That one time we had to model for the department. Before there was a picture of Dan and Brian, and it's really priceless. I wish it would have shown up, but
I know, so weird.
On the bottom, yeah, there's another picture there, but again, don't really know what happened there. And some more pictures of all of us. I think this is the last slide. Maybe one more, but
one more. Good times.
Yep.
In school, out of school.
All right, that's it.
It's like behind the scenes at a show, right? You can't imagine the hours the faculty and I spent trying to put together that curriculum. And so I just want to acknowledge the hard work, for Dr. Garwonsky and Lavender to say, how do we carry out clinical education now? They had clinical sites canceling. They had people saying, what are we going to do here? Certainly you were very nervous about your safety. How are we going to be good therapists with limitations here? And, the amount of time which they put in with people like Lana, and the clinical coordinators to be willing to take people in to deal through this is very impressive and very mind-blowing. So I wanted to acknowledge for clinical education, what a huge effort. For labs, I mean, to do boot camps in the fall to bring people back to try to build in this time. As you know, we changed our classrooms into laboratories and moved equipment in and out, and PPE, how we're going to take care of this and that. So, you've done such an amazing job to stay on path and to graduate. But I've got to say, as impressive has been watching the faculty put their heads together to figure out how can we have these people graduate on time, not delay them. How do we give them the same kind of high quality education we've always aspired to hear? So can I have a hand, please, for the faculty who just did a super job. I also want to thank Vice Dean Johnson, Dean Amler. Something like this, wouldn't have happened a month ago. And to allow us to put together an indoor program and to respond to your request. The request was, can we do something together on campus? And we heard you, and we really did what we could do to try to have something live on campus here. It's been such a fluid situation of every week things change, so know that we care very much about you. Our concern was always your safety first, and then trying to have you feel like you're all in as much as we're all in, to have your experience here be as full as it should be. And so, sometimes things fell short a bit in terms of the experiences, but know that it wasn't for lack of desire and want. And I think together, when we look at both the faculty and the students, what we achieved to get you graduating with high skills on time is a testament both to you with your grittiness and determination as well as ours. So I think we get a hand for ourselves, this has been an amazing year. So good, yay for us. People like Carla and the crew, Kelly Phillips, people who rearranged the furniture and kept things clean and brought things in and out. There's so many people we never even think about day in and day out, but the thanks go far, far beyond. So I think as you're thinking about your experience here and realizing that, know that a whole team was involved in making this happen. So we're very proud to be part of a very supportive community. I'm going to invite Dr. Wilson to come up now. We'd like to close with recitation of the Pledge for Physical Therapy. And we'll have that up on the big screen so you can follow along with us.
If there was any group that was going to get through a pandemic together and get to this point, it was you guys. If you would please stand up and join me in reciting the pledge for physical therapy as you join us in the profession. You're going to repeat line after me. You've got it up there, or you have it in your hands in your folders if you'd like to refer to it. As I enter the profession of physical therapy to practice as a physical therapist, I solemnly and willingly pledge the following. Something like that. I will respect the rights and dignity of all individuals and will provide compassionate care. I will be trustworthy towards my patients and clients and in all other aspects of physical therapy practice. I will place the welfare of my patients and clients above my own self-interest. There you go. You want to repeat that one? Do over? Okay, here we go. Mulligan it. Ready? I will be trustworthy towards my patients and clients and in all other aspects of physical therapy practice. I will place the welfare of my patients and clients above my own self-interest. I will provide accurate and relevant information to patients and clients about their care and to the public about physical therapy services. I will exercise sound judgment and comply with laws and regulations that govern physical therapy and protect the public from unethical, incompetent, and illegal acts. I will maintain professional competence and promote high standards for physical therapy practice, education, and research. I will address the health needs of society and strive to effect changes that benefit patients, clients, and the community. I will respect the rights, knowledge, and skills of colleagues and other healthcare professionals and seek consultation whenever the welfare of the patient or client may be advanced. Thus, with this pledge, I freely accept the responsibilities that accompany the practice of physical therapy. I welcome you to the profession. It's with great honor. And I have one last pledge to extract from all of you. Keep in touch with all of us and let us know how you are, where you are, and what's going on in your lives, because we kind of invest ourselves in you and we like to hear where you're at.
So in closing, I want to have again a rounding applause for the class of 2021. An applause for the families, friends who are with us online who offer such crucial support. An applause in absentia for Dean Amler and in person for Dr. Johnson. And last, for the faculty and Ms. Menta and Ms. Reck for their contribution to the success of the ceremony in the class of 2021. I now pronounce the end of the ceremony. If people can, in some kind of orderly fashion, exit on the left-hand aisle, right-hand aisle, watch your distance, and we'll see you out in the back room. Congratulations all.